Rachmaninov First Symphony, last movement. The chords for youth orchestra, you should definitely split the chords, so I'll do the bottom part. Pretty easy. It's, yeah, and if you get more secure with it, it can be okay to play the actual chords. It's so loud that cellos will barely be heard anyway, but okay. If it's a 3-note chord, bottom part should take the 2 lower notes, top part should take the 2 upper notes in most cases. 4-note chords, 2 and 2. And I don't think I wouldn't play 4-note chords even unless I'm feeling really wild that day. It's just too fast, and even it's a bit much. I don't know. A certain style of conductor might ask for it, but that would be the only case, I think. So this is handwritten music, and I expanded it slightly, but not quite enough. I'm a little far away, so. And the prohibition against open A's is you can kind of ignore it in this place, is the whole orchestra is quite loud, and I think it needs that ringing sound to the extent that you're playing. I would probably do something like go up for the first, but so for students learning this, very important to know what the chords are. You have a lot of the tonic, which is D major. This symphony is in D minor, but this introduction to the last movement is kind of a joyous D major, and then it's going to get a little more Rachmaninoff depressive a bit. So you've got a lot of simple harmonies: 1, 4, 5, 1. D major, 4 is G major, 5 is A major chord, A7 chord, and back to 1 D major. But then here the spot I just got to, which is after big number 46, about for 6th bar, B flat. And of course, as I said, learn it just playing a couple of notes. B minor, not B flat major. It's like that's, yeah, depends on the style the conductor's getting. Now, so yeah, it was 2 different tempos. Obviously, your conductor's going to work on you with that. Allegro con fuoco, quite fast at the beginning, and the marciale, sempre marcato, is I would say a bit slower. Molto primo, the first speed motion, really, but C string is good for this. Same thing. And you notice the quarters have lines on them, so quite heavy and a bit long. Maybe up. Oops, gotta figure out the. So, do this again. For me, this is the handwritten page 35. It's about 5 before 47. Up, with the 4th finger up to B natural, and stay there. Now go back to the 4th position, back to 2nd position. So on the B natural, 1st finger. Pay attention, this is a little hard to read actually, but the low note is E the first 2 times, then it goes to F sharp, F natural. The F natural is when it's in B flat. So, and the open D is going to speak by itself. Don't bring out the B more. The lower note is better. Now going there. So maybe here, second finger, so you don't have to shift quite as much. And the rhythm is tricky, so a lot of tricky rhythms in the symphony. That's actually what makes it so hard. The notes for cello are not, mostly not too crazy, but the rhythms are very tricky, and you combine that with the badly written parts, and it's you have to learn it basically from memory. So. So you hear a lot of actually 6/8 or even 12/8, like large, full measures of 3/8 notes per beat, and then he gets you back onto the 4/4 groove. Next page, same thing. I haven't prepared this at all. I'm just and we haven't played it. It is a tricky one. So page 36, third line, you get into. I would go up here, not just open D, because then D flat, it gets you in the right place. So then up to fourth position. Go to third, first finger on C, and second finger extended on D. Put you in the same 1/1, 4. Then probably I don't know if these, I'm not even sure these are the bowings we're doing lately. We've done this piece with Yannick, and we're doing it on tour in 2 months. Yeah, we'll see when we refresh it in October. So these are chords with they're spelled, they're arpeggiated. So C sharp, F sharp minor. The first finger on F now to get you there for this D flat or C sharp, depending on what the other instrument's playing. F natural, E sharp. No open A's here, please. I wouldn't strum this too much. Or maybe just 2 notes even. My bridge sounds a little funky, so I don't. Now this part, con anima, it's all triplets. We are accompanying the violins here, and it's typical for their part should be very free. Con anima is usually interpreted to mean moving the tempo a little bit more, especially since there were just 2 bars of ritardando. So you need to know the notes very well and then be able to follow the conductor, and then you'll learn the violin part. So slowly, a lot of second position going to first. So. Yeah, I gotta keep track of the notes. First finger on this E and shift. Let's see, is there I've never done that. I don't like that. The 2/2 is not great either, so stay there. 5th position, the last position I ever counted. Got to go back a half step with the first finger from F sharp to F natural to E sharp. Now back to 3rd, just for the D, and then shift up to the G. Another half step, first finger again. Here you may even want to go to 2nd finger. It's a little bit longer shift for the C natural, but it's a little easier to keep track of. And of course go to extended, because F sharp and D, you need the 3rd, major 3rd. We have that started, which is not really brilliant. Maybe that's been changed now. this one is not an E, this time it's a D sharp. Actually, for the safer fingering, I would say then go up on the G string here, instead of back to first. And do it kind of this funny, so again, fifth position. This is the most I've ever played in fifth position. Bad wolf today. This is what makes these videos so great, isn't it? Okay, finding the right spot. There we go, sort of. Second finger on F natural, which means first is on E. And so fourth finger on this D, where the harmonic normally would be. We don't usually do that, but it works here. Now you end on C sharp. The next note is one whole step higher, D sharp. So I'm not doing a shifting video on this one. I'm doing a lot of shifting videos these days, but basically C sharp means your first finger's on B, going up a major third to D sharp. So you just got to practice that because you don't have any. You have to do it in silence and very fast, actually. Not that fast. So then stay here. This closed, this slightly extended hand position with the whole step between 2 and 3. D sharp to C sharp. E natural. E sharp, another half step higher. So the bottom notes are da dee da 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 dee da dee da da ya. Then you cross over. It's a fifth. E sharp to B sharp. And just think in stepwise motion. E natural. C sharp. E sharp. And B sharp, a fifth straight across. So you just have to move your finger over. It's not going to be brilliant, but there's no, you know, again, if I'm feeling kind of wild and excited and risky and safe in a concert, I might do it. But if I've played this piece like, I don't know, 20 times, 25 times, I've probably only done that twice in a concert. So, just cross over. End on first, and you've got to shift back to first finger. Yeah, either one is fine. 1, 1 is a little trickier if you're not used to that sort of thing, but I think that's the easiest one. You could even go 3 and play a kind of a harmonic on the last one. So that'll be the clean one, actually. Stay there. I keep an extended position, so F sharp, E sharp, D sharp for the whole rest of the melody. Now you do the da dee da da da, but now we're in C sharp major instead of A major. So up on the D string. Yeah, A string doesn't work. So 1, 4. Then go back to normal, almost normal fourth position with the second finger on A sharp. Don't forget the B sharp. You gotta jump, you know, just shift up a half step for the C sharp. Back to normal A major. What a relief. Those notes. This one, when we play it, I do have to like go through and basically memorize it, or I can't play it. It's too fast. And the notes are, there are patterns, but they're not even. They're not he breaks the patterns occasionally, like here, which is why I missed that note, so it's really annoying. But stay there. That's why I remembered going to the A string for this, because here I did 4, 2, and then 1, 1. Oops, sorry, A sharp. Another slur. So extended, 4 on A sharp, 1 on C sharp, 4 on E sharp, or if you prefer to think it doesn't help much, B flat minor, B flat, D flat, F, right? Might help when you're figuring out things, but then go back because that's what you're going to see on the page. Now, stay there, third finger, and the third finger is going to go up. You can even go up to a harmonic briefly. No, this is actually unstable if I do this. So I just learned the shift. And so this one. Then for the F sharp, I immediately shift back. And I'm playing a harmonic on that second A. Now we have a replacement. Our bowing goes across, and again, this could be changed. I have an old part from the 90s, I think, or the early 2000s. But so there's actually, the slur is actually supposed to be broken. It's just hooked across. Should sound like this. Is how it's written. So F sharp, G sharp, E, easy enough. But then the E, the next E, you're going to do a third finger, and you'll see why in a second. Oh, I skipped a, yeah. You like, if you look away, like, it's very dangerous to look up, because if you look away, you can look, it looks kind of the same, and you can skip to the wrong line, which is what I just said. So the reason for that, and that's number 49, just to kind of keep track of where we are, because you need to play that E sharp coming up. Then back to the D string for C sharp major. This is briefer now, I think. First position. You can get away with that one A natural, I'll give you that. Oh yeah, okay. Oh yes, and this one gets fun too. It's lower version of it. I go up with the G string. So let me go back to this. 49. Open A. So 4-1, but you're gonna have to bring the first finger up and unextend it. Then, oh, stay there. Instead of shifting back like I did. Back to normal first position for relief. Even unextended. C sharp with third finger, not second. Now, that's my version. Yeah, something actually, I don't remember what I do. But I'm not going to suggest that you do that. So if you go back to half position, then it's a big jump to the C sharp, so that's not great either. That's it. So. I would say go. Yeah, stay on the fourth finger for the beginning of that measure. Then go to third finger across the string, would be the same finger, so you're shifting up a half step literally. G sharp, C sharp. Across the string now 3-3. 3-1, 1. Then stretch to F, E sharp. So you play this 4-2-4, and you're going to have to shift immediately. Yeah. 2-1-2. Stay there. You have to go back to half position for the next bit. No, that's too much. I don't know. Yeah, that's slightly easier, I would say. So 2-2. 2 on the A. 1-1. So it's a very small shift to get to the C sharp that I can. Take advantage of the F sharp being an open G natural. Back to half position, G sharp first finger, and then shift up a half to get to the C sharp. Yeah, go all the way up to fourth position to end it. That may seem difficult, but it'll help you for the next thing. And end it quietly. And there's a diminuendo, even though it's an up bow, not great, but so then you're on fourth finger for the C sharp, It's just sequences coming down: C sharp, B, B natural, half a sequence A to F, G sharp to E, right? So this is a real shift: C sharp to G. Then the hand is closed, minor third, G sharp to B. Stretch the first finger back to G natural. Bring the other fingers back. Stretch back. Then he goes up a third. So think of the hand position. You have A, D, C natural, so that's a major third. Now we have B sharp, D sharp to B, but it's so major third, but the middle note is D natural. So it's 4-3, 4, different pattern. Same idea here, half step lower. So just unextend the hand, reach back. I think the best, most economical fingering with one shift. It's a bit of a weird fingering though, so I'm a little hesitant about it. A sharp, you're on first finger, shift up to first finger, minor third, A sharp to C sharp. Then it's 1-2, tritone. Then you have to stretch this stretch that I never let my students do, except for like 0.5% of all music. You can do it like here. Because you're extending a well, it's an augment. It's a step and a half. G natural to A sharp. Normally you would have to put the second finger on G sharp. This time you don't have to, because you want to keep the first finger where it is. You can make slightly better technique, or if you have a slightly smaller hand and the other one doesn't work. G natural goes up G sharp, then the stretch is normal. Then you've got to shift up. First finger F sharp goes to A. So that you can be on fourth finger on G sharp. And I do lots of slides here when I play it, but I'm not gonna. Just get the notes in tune before you get too experimental with it. So 4-2, B sharp is 3 on the D string. 2 F sharp is where it always was on 2. E sharp is right next to it. And then extend back for E natural. And play the A's on the C string. Don't shift yet. It's because the same thing, actually second finger is probably better. Because that's where you are from. And even there, fourth position. So then back to the first position, I would say. Keeping track of which ones you play an open string and which one you only play it on the D string is actually really, really difficult. If you're playing the lower line, you can just take the shortcut of only playing the bottom note. Let's see, I played another one again. Again, not very well written part, just visually. So, and all of these chords, also when we play it, I've got to go through it once before the rehearsal and memorize where they are, because it's too fast and too hard to read. Not too hard technically, just to remember is where. So see, I missed it again. So really what he's done is have you play open A on the third and fourth beats of the first measure, and on the, anyway, this is not that important, and the second, third, and fourth of the next measure, and then the entire third measure. So second position for the E sharp, then shift down to third finger. See, I couldn't even read that. just because it's a little stronger finger for the accent, so the vibrato is easier. So obviously, F natural second finger, F sharp third finger. Oh, I forgot I have my pedal out. I don't have to turn the page. Here's a quibble, which handwritten parts are supposed to know this stuff. They put an eighth note and an eighth rest, but taking up a huge amount of time, and then on the second beat, the half note is like way over here, so it looks like you should actually wait longer. It's a visually distracting. So retardando. So this tempo, and I should play softer actually. I'm just allegro mosso. 1, 2, 3. Just have to count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And I'm not sure. Like the cello part's not exactly cellos and basses. I think it's not particularly evocative. I think that's the right tempo, but I can't remember what else is going on. So yeah, hopefully I haven't. I didn't even listen to the recording before I did this. So that is it. That's it. That was a page turn. Fine. Più vivo a little bit faster. And that's, don't be fooled, that's a tenor clef, so it's not an E, it's a B. And just play one note, I think. But the pizzas should be pretty strong, which is why you see me playing them with my thumb. Just not too much twang is all, please. Okay, this is actually melody. We're at the bottom of page 40. Rehearsal number 52, 1. Okay, this one is a little more important. I would recommend sliding from the A to the C sharp. And so here we are, page 41. It's the last 6 bars of music you have, 6 bars for the con moto. So 3 on the A, 1 on the F sharp. Slide 3, 3. And the crescendo is, no, I guess the crescendo is the line before. So this is 3, 3. Save bow, then C sharp to B sharp, down a half step on the same finger, 3, 3, and stretch back, so B sharp, G sharp. If for some reason the shift is difficult, go straight to first finger on no slide. So then you're doing 2 major thirds, A, C sharp, B sharp, G sharp, right? Okay, I don't think that needs a whole lot more explanation. You just have to figure out the intervals. B minor. That one's written funny, but it's basically D natural to F natural. But the F natural is an E sharp because of the C sharp. So you have a major, and you can do that finger well. And I would definitely do slides on those. You know, it doesn't have to be a lot, but you know, we're playing Rachmaninov, not Mozart here, so. next page, it's 42, chords. If you're comfortable enough, and you don't, I wouldn't roll these too much, although I just listened to a YouTube video about Stokowski's version of the Tchaikovsky Fifth Symphony, where they roll all the chords in the slow movement. Like the whole string section does these big rolls like that, so it sounds like this, like, I don't know, harp turned into an organ or something. But but that's only if the conductor is specifically requesting that. It can be a bit much. I do about that much, I would say. It's fine to play the bottom two notes, like I was saying before. Oops. Sharp, yes. 1, 2, 3, 1. C double sharp. Don't miss that. It doesn't go to D sharp, it goes straight to E. The trills are worth checking out. They're in the key. Well, they're not in the key. It's complicated. It's basically F sharp minor. So you have, harmonically, you've got C sharp as the dominant chord with E sharp. So the trill, and then A natural, B sharp, D sharp, ending on C sharp. A natural. It's funny when A natural is the note that I have to point out because everything else has got a sharp in front of it. But okay, we can skip that rest of that page. Chords, they should be very quiet with their. So here he's following Tchaikovsky's Sixth Symphony almost. He's got you playing triple piano, pianissimo, and then he adds a fourth piano, so four P's for the end, and then gets back into. He changes the key to D sharp. To D major again, 2 sharps, but we don't really notice it because we're on the G sharp. But you've got to pay attention to the tempo. 1, 2, 3, da. So the 4 bars before the tempo change, the meter change. Oh, softer, sorry. C string, you're certainly welcome to. How we get to there? Yeah, half position's fine. And notice the second and fourth beats have the sforzandos here, so. Again, half step with fourth finger. No, I hit that too much because I didn't turn the page fast enough. I'd stay in first position here. Then I would go to second finger here. It seems like you wouldn't need to, but look at what's coming up. So. Chords. I'm playing it so you can hear what they are. So I will go up sometimes. You don't need to. Open G's are okay here. Dynamics are what's really important. You see that was fortissimo, and then the next note was piano. This is faster also, con moto. minor and E flat major. Now G sharp minor, G major. It's easy, so the first one open string, but stay there with the E flat, so you can play E natural with second finger and first finger. Very easy. That's the only difference. Maybe play fourth finger E flat, but then 1, 3, 1, 2. Don't roll it that much, I'm playing so you can hear the notes. Now, this one is kind of a pain, and whoever, this is the first stand part that was copied, they circled every diminuendo, which means it's really hard to read the notes, so don't do that, especially when you're sharing with the music with other people. So these are all thirds, major thirds and minor thirds. You've got to keep track of it. Even when it's spelled as an augmented second, F sharp to B to E, F sharp to E flat, or G sharp to F is like a minor third in our hand. Close position 4-1. You'll need to go over this part to be safe with it. The fingering I usually do, it's kind of instinctive and it worked, so I stayed with it, but I'm not quite recommending it. See, you can try it and see how it goes, but if it confuses you, don't do it. Major third. So, and let's be very clear, this is page 46, the last 3 lines. The third line from the bottom, there's an arco, and it's the next measure, a tempo, 1, 2. So extended 4-1, then I go to 3-1, and that's extended as well. So G with first finger, A with third finger, but then F sharp with first finger. Then it's a small shift up to B again. And the thing that one of my colleagues circled is each one should have a diminuendo. I would do it a little less than that because it sounds a bit, I think it's too, the conductor will give you an opinion if they have time to rehearse it, but if there are 10 or 12 of us doing that, and I think you guys have 18 cellos, so it'll sound, if you actually all did it, it would sound super heaving and kind of seasick, I think, so not great. This is a real shift to, it's like first position minus, or extended half position. You got to shift up again, a whole third. This one, you just have to bring the whole hand down. So up to here, first finger on F sharp. First finger moves down to F natural, so you can play. Then you can extend this one. Maybe go to first position just to keep your head clear. Then half step up, A flat. Again, 4-1-3. It's definitely better here. Because then you don't actually have to shift. You're creeping between first position extended and second position non-extended. Oh, okay, I misread that. How do we play that? Yeah. So 4-1, the end of that bar. Now the E to C sharp, shift your first finger back to E and stretch. 1-4 extended. The third finger is also extended, so half step back, but same hand position, open. Open string finally, and go to first finger. My cello was very out of tune this morning when I got up, so I figured I was going to have to tune by the time I got to the end of this. The last line, D, B, and then B octave higher. If that shift is too much, if that stretch is too much for you, then the simpler version starting here, the last line of the page. Just shift down a half step from G to F sharp. and close the hand for 4-1. Shift up. You can even go 4-1 here. And this is a tiring piece. It's the end of a rather long endurance test of a symphony, so you may want to actually choose fingerings where you're extending less, because this tires your hand out, and the more you do of it, you know, here you are at the end of about 40 minutes into the 45-minute piece, so might be a good idea anyway. Down a half step again. Up a half step. Just stay there. Down a half step. I mean, there in second position. Down a half step to E and up a half step. You can even do this. Harmonic with third finger or whatever's handy. Go to 4, 3. So that would be your one extension in this whole passage if you do the unextended fingering. Shift up, third, then D string open. So that's the only, obviously the first position is pretty easy. I think I'd do the shift on the fourth finger, the half step shift. From B flat to play the open A. Play the open A here. Right? First of all, cellos can't really be heard very well here. I don't know if second violins or violas play this with us. Probably a woodwind or two, but and it happens twice in the piece, so I don't know which time is which. But is there any reason not to? Yeah, you could even do that. Just to give yourself a break, honestly, from the endurance. And so I would always myself do the B flat, fourth finger on the D string. Then I have to shift here. Oh, and stay there. Now thumb position. Now here we're going to move the thumb back a bit. Look at the lowest note of each passage. It's A natural. Then there's a little bit of a rest, like one beat rest, one beat and a fraction rest. Then the lowest note is G. So, and G to C. So that works in the thumb position very well. Thumb 3. Then the next one is F sharp C. So you're going to leave the third finger where it was, but move the thumb back a half step to F sharp. I've never done that without actually trying notes, so it didn't quite work. Thumb back a half step again from F sharp to F natural. And so you're going to get to the normal thumb position, where it's whole step, half step, but then the third and fourth one of these, the F sharp to C and the F natural to B, you're going to do the whole tone thumb position, where there's a whole step between all of them. Only you have to bring up the first finger to A natural. Then back, but now you see whole step, and those are the notes we're going to play. Then you bring the third finger back to B flat. I know I skipped the first couple of bars, but it's just to plan. The thumb is A, G, F sharp, F natural. Then that's all the thumb. So, back to the beginning of it. The triple forte, fortissimo, as loud as possible is what that means. Sorry, thumb didn't work. I would also suggest, so the thumb's going to move a little bit more, but try to keep it thinking of the descending line, A, G, F sharp. But here we are going to move the thumb up for this one note to A sharp, up a half step. See? So you have to practice. Like that. Oops, see? Gotta practice these things. Honestly, the ending does it. The ending feels so easy, it doesn't really matter what you do. There's probably a better fingering out of everybody that figured it out. Now we get the same passage, but it's a fifth higher, and there's probably some difference. Actually, it doesn't look any different. It looks like exactly a fifth higher. Okay, that's different, I think. Again, I would probably play open A the first one. Then go up on the D string. Con moto, again, means a little faster, again. Two-note chord. Not all four. The next is rhythm. Bim ba di ba 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 di dum. Bim ba di ba da 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 ba di da ba di da. Oh, see, I missed the downbeat. Again, I'm going to blame that on the wide spaces that they hand wrote in with the eighth note, eighth rest. That's rhythm. I would suggest listening to a recording with the music here to like kind of keep track of that and then get it in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, these you just have to be ready for. That was me not being ready, so no excuses there. 1. You have this very weird looking chord one bar before big rehearsal, 60. F. Actually, what is? Huh. Now I'm wondering if we're playing it wrong, and I can't even tell for sure what the note is. Because it's not quite as high. So I think it's supposed to be a B natural. I think that's what we did, but what I've heard us do. Yeah, it's... Perhaps our actual parts have been corrected. I think this chord is a diminished chord. The next one is another diminished chord, but it's an A7 chord leading into the D. No, it's not D major exactly. It's he's playing around with augmented, but it's on D anyway. I would say that one, if there's one chord you're going to play 3 notes, it would be that one, because it's into a gong, which is like, kind of takes over the whole orchestra. And then you go into the next part, the largo. This is very heavy compared to everything else. I play this stuff on the C string usually. Because these fortissimos are pretty serious. That was more of an accent. Violins are probably going to have to slide, so I would say we don't have to worry about it as much. Oh, I'm playing a wrong note. G sharp, I don't know what I played. You can just go to D harmonic. So you're on 3 on that. On the other hand, it probably will be a slide there, so if you want to just slide, you can slide, and when you get to the note, you stop. So. Playing the bottom line, just go to first finger so you can play B flat to D. If you're doing the top line, and but I'll stick with the bottom because that's what I assume the student I'm doing this for is playing. Try to pronounce the triplet, that's a melody somewhat. pages, all the notes are the same except for the, wait, was there an occasional note? It's always E flat, but you go from B natural to B flat. On the top of the last page now, on A.